Trump promising mass deportations on day one of his second term. And today, thousands of protesters took to the streets in a show of solidarity and defiance against Trump. Duarte Geraldino was in the middle of it all and has this report.
Thousands of people, backed by more than 30 groups, took to the streets Saturday, marching from Columbus Circle to Bryant Park.
We're here to send a message loud and clear after the election that even though this administration is going to target immigrant communities, it's going to target people of color, low-income people of color, that we're here to stay, right? We're not retreating into the shadows. We're actually going to be more visible and powerful than ever.
Trump's victory on Tuesday increases the chances he'll keep his promise to roll back immigration benefits that keep families together, like temporary protected status, which allows migrants to stay in the U.S. with their families. Central promise of Donald Trump's presidential campaign was mass deportations. New York City has about 400,000 undocumented immigrants. If that promise comes to pass, it would have a huge impact on life in the city. Nuestro futuro, our future, that's what they say they're marching for. Janeri Solis is a U.S. citizen raised here in New York. She brought her young children to the march.
I have a daughter and a son, but also like her rights. You know, her rights feel like they've been taken away by the rhetoric that Trump is spewing.
Like many, Janeri worries about family members who might be forced to leave if Trump follows through on mass deportations. A study by FWD.US shows more than 19 million Latinos in America live with an immigrant relative, and about a third could face family separations under Trump's immigration plans. Were you born in the U.S.?
No, I'm an immigrant myself. Yeah, came from India. My parents are refugees from Tibet. So they came to India. From there, we got our... I came here when I was 10.
I myself and him were immigrants. I mean, came here, my kids were born here, but I'm a sister. I was raised here my whole life, and often people forget where they come from.
Trump is promising the largest deportation push in U.S. history, but right now it's still unclear how or when this plan will take shape, or for that matter, how much it's going to cost. From Columbus Circle, Duarte Geraldino, Fox 5 News.
Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekakodash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety. To all you sincere Akim, keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. Alright. So you seen it, just a quick news update. Alright, they're having protests in New York City, okay, as of today, because of Trump's mass deportation plans. All right, and hey man, I'm not gonna say that this specifically is in the scriptures, okay, but it could very well cause chaos to ensue, okay. And it is in the scriptures that there shall be sedition among men, okay. So that's what we're going to be going into. All right, just bringing out a few precepts on that, okay. A little bit of etymology, and Yahweh Rachazah, okay, meaning Heavenly Father's will is edifying to the elect. So I'm going to start off in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right, I'm going to read starting from verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Okay, and this is what we're talking about, all right, constantly. Okay, race wars, class wars, civil wars, economic woes. Okay, one people shall stand up to fight against another. All right, and really that's Jacob versus Esau, but the Lord is raising up a spirit of confusion here in Babylon the Great. So you got all kind of different people, going that are getting ready to go to war with each other. Everyone's at each other's throats. Okay, men versus women, black versus white. Okay, as a most recent, Democrat versus Republican. All right, everyone is at each other's throats. Okay, and it could very well lead to physical violence. All right, it says verse 16. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Okay, so we know eventually that there's going to be civil unrest. Okay, whether this, Trump getting into office and trying to bring these mass deportations, whether that is the catalyst for it or not. We know that eventually that's what's going to come, because that's what the prophecies say, man. Okay, for there shall be sedition among men. All right, let's go ahead and go to the definition of the word sedition. All right, so right here, okay, the word sedition, it says sedition is the act of inciting rebellion or discontent against the established order. Okay, so that's what we see, the people, okay, they are rebelling, all right, and displaying discontent, okay, against the established order. Okay, a lot of people are very unhappy that President Donald Trump, okay, was elected. All right, which, we're apolitical, we don't give a damn about politics, but we always looking at things from a spiritual perspective. All right, what could this lead to? We're constantly watching and looking, monitoring things and filtering it through the scriptures to see, okay, what's coming next, what's going on in the world. Okay, what are the elites up to? Okay, monitoring to make sure that we are on alert for when Jacob's trouble comes. It says, sedition is the act of inciting rebellion or discontent against the established order, often through speech or organization. Okay, and that's exactly what that is. When they protest, okay, that is sedition. It is also can also include the subversion of a constitution or the creation of a disturbance or violence against lawful authority. All right, and a lot of times these protests, all right, do turn violent. Now, once again, this is not what's happening, right now as we speak. Okay, but when President Donald Trump is inaugurated, I believe January 20th of 2025, and he sets out to push these orders, okay, then what is that going to lead to? That's going to lead to an environment of hostility towards so-called immigrants, and primarily the northern kingdom of the Israelites, because that's who they're really talking about. Okay, the so-called Latino tribes. Okay, so we also know that Trump was speaking of bringing back corporal punishment, okay, guillotines, okay, firing squads, all right, and then also reenacting a revised version of the Alien and Sedition Act of 1798. Okay, he spoke about that in one of his rallies, excuse me. All right, and he also spoke of pretty much implementing a new thing that he was going to call the what's that called? The Aurora Project. That's not it. Operation Aurora. Excuse me. All right. So he's setting up sedition laws. Okay, which right here. Okay, the first point says sedition laws are often vague and overbroad, allowing them to be misused to suppress free speech. See, that's really what it's all about. Okay, sedition laws usually don't require evidence that the speech would likely incite violence. See, and that's one thing that he spoke of. He said, when you read that Alien and Sedition Act of 1798, which I did a video on it before, it goes into that. Okay, anyone who says anything that could be disparaging against United States government officials, or as it says, the so-called good people of America, okay, they can be fined, punished. Okay, what's another word? What's the word I'm looking for? They could be detained. Okay, they could be detained and thrown in jail or prison. All right, these are different ways that President Donald Trump is preparing to be able to persecute it's really for the elect. All right, at the end of the day. Okay, it says, third point, the criminal penalties that accompany sedition laws can undermine democratic processes. All right, and it actually says it right here. The United States has sedition laws, including the Sedition Act of 1798 and the Sedition Act of 1918. The federal government also criminalizes seditious conspiracy, okay, in 18 U.S.C. okay, 2384. So that's a law, all right, that they have in place. All right, so really, as they say, freedom of speech ain't really free. Okay, but anyways, okay, once again, we know that they're setting a trap, all right, for him that reproveth in the gate. It's really about being able to persecute the Israelites. Okay, let's go here. Let's go back to 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So when chaos does erupt, all right, that's people are not they're gonna listen to what the government tells them to do. They're gonna do what they want to do. Okay, and ultimately that's what it is. Okay, President Trump is saying, I'm going to do a mass deportation, and you have the immigrants saying, no, we're not going to stand for that. So they're actively saying, okay, we're going to fight against the government when this time comes. Okay, we're going to fight against the established order. All right, and what is that going to implement? Okay, that's going to cause most likely Donald Trump to implement, martial law, bring out the National Guard, okay, different alphabet agencies to be able to pretty much enforce the law. Okay, and this can cause all kind of chaos, because as we know through history, whenever Esau wanted to regain control, he did it usually through violence. All right, let's go here. We're gonna get 2 Ezra, the 9th chapter in the Good News Translation, and close out. Okay, 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered, consider all these things very carefully. When you see that some of the signs I have told you have appeared, you will know that the time has come when God, Yahweh the Most High, will bring judgment on the world He has created. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues. Okay, we seeing these things. Okay, national rebellions. A lot of people are pissed off about Donald Trump being elected. All right, and when he gets inaugurated, okay, and he starts trying to implement these things that he says he's going to do, like mass deportations, okay, people are going to freak out. Okay, national rebellions, international intrigues. Okay, we see war being kindled pretty much all throughout the four corners of the earth. Unstable leaders and confused rulers. Okay, and both Kamala and Trump are confused. Okay, it wouldn't have mattered who got into office. When you see these things happening, you will know that they are what the Most High has spoken about since the beginning of creation. The beginning and the end of everything that happens in this world are clear. The same is true in the world above. Wonders and miracles show the beginning of events, and mighty signs show when they end. Some people will escape destruction and be saved by their good works or by their faith, and I don't like that, because really, okay, the KJV reads, some people that they will escape through their good works and the faith in which they have believed. Okay, because the faith causes you to do good works. All right. So I don't really like that translation, but anyways, keep reading. Some people will escape destruction and be saved by their good works, okay, and by their faith. All of them will survive the dangers I have described and will enjoy the salvation provided in the land that I have set apart from eternity as my own. Okay, and that land is talking about Jerusalem, or Yasharal, okay, and specifically the elect. Okay, the elect is going to receive that salvation, but until then, okay, what must we do? We must continue to be occupied in prophecy, okay, watching to see what's going on in the world and filtering it through the Bible. Okay, we have to be, stay on our toes, man. All right, and also, diligently, making sure that we're doing the work of the Lord. Okay, as it says, the scriptures, tell you, I think it's Luke 12, maybe like verse 38 on down, somewhere around there. It says, blessed is that servant whom when his master come, okay, he finds him, doing as he is told. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. All right, so this is what the Lord has told us to do, to keep the flock edified, exhorted, and to warn them of the evils to come. Okay, so with that being said, just keep in mind that these things are fastly approaching. Okay, once again, he gets inaugurated January 20th of 2025. And we don't know how fast he's going to start pushing these measures out, but either way, okay, prepare yourself, brace yourself for impact. All right. So I'm going to close out with that. Yahweh righteous, I was edifying. As always, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. And until next time, Shalom.